Hi everyone, it's October 2024 and the Melbourne Metro Tunnel is getting pretty close to completion, with the opening currently expected sometime in 2025. While there's still a lot to do at the CBD stations, two of the smaller stations, Arden and Anzac, are basically finished, and I was recently invited to visit Anzac and take a look around. Before we go inside, just a quick bit of background. Anzac is the southernmost station on the Metro Tunnel, and I think I'm right in saying it's actually going to be the southernmost underground railway station in the entire world, taking that title from Parliament, or Flagstaff. They're at about the same latitude. Anzac is located underneath St Kilda Road, directly below one of Melbourne's busiest tram interchanges, where tram route 58 crosses routes 3, 5, 6, 16, 64, 67 and 72. Before it was rebuilt for the Metro Tunnel, the tram stop here was called Domain Interchange, named after Domain Road, and the initial proposed name for the new station was Domain. However, several other options were floated as part of a public competition, the winner of which was Anzac, which is a pretty unusual choice for a station name, being an acronym, Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, which is most famously associated with the Battle of Gallipoli in World War I. But the term Anzac also has more broad use relating to the armed forces, including being the name of our National Day of Remembrance. Anzac Station is about 300 metres from Melbourne's Shrine of Remembrance, hence the significance for this location. There's the shrine up on the hill. And there's Anzac Station down there. The most obvious above-ground feature of this station is this huge timber roof, which is 85 metres long by 20 metres wide, and is located in the middle of the tram platform. There are two other smaller entrances on Domain Road and Albert Road, and these are all linked together by an underground pedestrian concourse, and then the platform is located one level below that on roughly this alignment. Despite being separated by two levels vertically, this will be one of the best connections between trains and trams anywhere in Melbourne. In fact, I think it's the only place where you can walk from a train to a tram without crossing a single lane of road traffic. Glen Huntly comes pretty close, but only one side of the tram stop avoids the road lane and it still crosses the cycle lane. While I was waiting to head in, I noticed this unusual symbol near the station entrance. I initially thought it could be some kind of arcane rune. Maybe if you light a candle and walk around it 3 times, you summon a high-capacity rail service with a 5-minute off-peak frequency. My next theory was that it might be a stylized top-down view of the Anzac canopy with the tram lines either side. Surprisingly, both these guesses were wrong, and apparently it's actually a pair of letter M's, one upside down, for Melbourne Metro. It's not so much a logo as a design element, and once you notice it, you'll see it in various places all over the station. Okay, so enough of that, let's take a look inside. We're going down the relatively small entrance on Domain Road, which has this cool green metal structure overhead. There's a single escalator here, but a nice wide staircase, and there's also a lift nearby, though it wasn't operating when I was there.
I see a train tracker display across here.
Something that stands out all along the concourse are these things hanging from the ceiling, which are acoustic baffles to help dampen sound. Their design incorporates a little bit of subtle wayfinding. When you're facing towards the station exits, they're this purplish colour, but facing towards the inside of the station, they're white. Both ends of the concourse feature quite extensive artworks along the walls, really helping to brighten up these otherwise fairly grey spaces. It's worth noting that we haven't yet passed through the ticket barriers, so this whole concourse area is publicly accessible without payment, and will act as a large pedestrian road underpass in addition to providing station access. By far the most impressive part of the concourse is the main entrance under the timber canopy, which is spacious and bright with light streaming in through these large skylights. And the pleasant sound of trams dinging up above. This space was much larger and more open than I'd expected from seeing the outside, and I really like it. Right, time to head down to the platforms. The Mikey barriers weren't active, so I just had to pretend to touch on. From this point, the ceiling is highlighted with bright orange beams, which exist only within the paid area of the station. So if for some reason you can't remember which side of the barriers you're on, look for the orange. Another thing you'll notice inside the barriers are these enormous circular orange lights. And if we look right in the middle, there's that logo again, and right in the middle of that, a sprinkler head. Okay, down we go. And for the first time ever, I'm standing on a Melbourne Underground platform that's younger than I am. The platforms are basically what you'd expect for any modern metro station with platform screen doors. The ceiling is quite low, which they probably didn't have much of a choice with here as the whole station is pretty shallow, and we're not far below the concourse. The ceiling has a sort of exposed industrial finish with visible cable trays, pipes, lots of exposed concrete, and of course more orange beams. Along the platform there are several of these wonderful granite mosaics by First Nations artist Marie Clark, depicting footprints of native animals found around Victoria on the traditional lands of the Kulin Nation. The platforms are long enough for 10-car trains to run in the future, but that's probably quite some way off, and the HCMTs which will run through here are currently all 7-car sets, so they won't use the full platform length initially. This might sound a bit crazy, but one of my favourite features here is if you look through the glass of the platform screens across the track to the far wall, there are these station signs sitting all by themselves, not quite in the middle of little patches of light. I thought it looked kind of strange and liminal. Anyway, that's it for now, back to the surface. Stay tuned for some more Metro Tunnel coverage to come in hopefully the fairly near future. Thanks very much to the team at Anzac for showing me around, and thanks very much for watching.